What's up, everybody? It's Raphael, and as you know, I hate people. Let me ask you something. Have you read the Bible? You believe in it? Don't even matter. Today, I decided to do a project on the Bible and hopefully commit to it. I'm going to read through the whole thing. So let's dig in. Today, we're going to read about the creation, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. So it shouldn't be but like 4 chapters. So, I mean, you could do 4 chapters, right? Hang in there with me. All right. So, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." To separate water from water? All right, whatever. Look, I'm not big on the whole language in the Bible, so bear with me. But we're going to get through this. All right. Let's start that verse over. And God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate the water from water." So God made the vault and separate the water under the vault from the water above it. This is all confusing, but I mean, we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. And it was so. God called the vault sky. Okay. And there was evening and there was morning the second day. Okay, so we got to go back through that. All right. And God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." He called the vault sky. Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water. So let there be a sky between the waters to separate water from water. It's not making sense. It's not making sense. But let's carry on. Verse 9. And God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear." Okay, so we getting there. All you got to do is keep reading. And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters, oh my God, called seas. And God saw that it was good. And then God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds." Okay, well, excuse me. And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good, and there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky," in the vault of the sky. So keep reading, remember, keep reading. "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times." Signs to mark sacred. Keep reading. "And the days and years, and let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth." Wow. All right, I'm sorry. We got to read that one again. This is verse 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years." Sacred times and days and years. "And let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth." What is this thing saying? But let's keep going. And it was so. Verse 16. God made 2 great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. Say that again. God made 2 great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. So he's saying the sun and the moon, but the moon is not a light. Let's keep going. He also made the stars. God set them in the vault of the sky to give light to the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate the light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. If you're not questioning all of this that's being read, is something wrong. But let's keep going. And there was evening and there was morning, the fourth day. And God said, let the water teem, T-E-E-M, teem with the living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky. So God created the great creatures of the sea and every living thing with which the waters teems, T-E-E-M, and that moves about in it, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them and said, be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. 23. And there was evening and there was morning, the fifth day. Oh, bro, man. Fifth flow. But verse 24. And God said, let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind. And it was so. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds. Are we talking about two different types of animals here, or what? And all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. 26. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image. Us make mankind in our image. This is something that people bring up a lot when talking about the Bible. God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. Okay, so us and we and our. Continuing. 27. So God created mankind in his own image. Why didn't they say their own image? So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. Then God said, I gave you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food, and to all the beasts of the earth, and all the birds in the sky, and all the creatures that move along the ground, everything that has breath of life in it. I give every green plant for food. And it was so. God, 31. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. This is the, I'm assuming, New International Version. And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. Okay, so yeah, this is the New International Version. Chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. Vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. Okay, so the seventh day he had already finished. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. 6 days of work, tired of shit. Finna lay down, go to sleep. Well, we don't know what he did exactly, but we know he rested from all his work. Verse 3. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. Seventh day, Saturday. Okay. Verse 4. This is the account of the heavens and the earth. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created, when the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. Oh, I guess we're talking about verse 3, when God blessed the seventh day. It was kind of confusing because it's like paragraph form and whatever. Yeah. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created, when the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. Yeah. Okay, so verse 5. Now no shrub had yet appeared on the earth, and no plant had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no one to work the ground. But streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. So I guess we're rewinding and going back to where he created the first man. Let's go through that again. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And the man became a living being. Yeah, so I'm gonna assume that we went back a little bit, and we're now explaining how he created man, or they created man. That's confusing. Anyway, verse 8. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. In the middle of the garden, were the tree of life and the tree of knowledge and good and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. I'm stupid. Don't mind me. A river, this is verse 10. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there it was separated into four-headed waters. 11. The name of the first is the Pishon, excuse me, I don't know these words. Biblical stuff. I'm trying my best. Pishon or Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah. Havilah. Let's go with that. Where there is gold. In parentheses, it says, the gold of that land is good. Aromatic resin and onyx are also there. That's in parentheses. Verse 13. The name of the second river is the Gihon. The Gihon sounds like Gohan, except it's an I instead of an O. But yeah, the name of the second river is the Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Cush, or Cush. The name of the third river is the Tigris. We all know that one. It runs along the east side of Ashur. I don't know about that word. Ashur. Ashur. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. Don't ask how I knew how to pronounce that one. Verse 15. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. And the Lord God commanded the man, you are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but, there's a but, you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge. You gotta say the knowledge. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It makes a whole lot more sense when you point that part out. You must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die. Why did you put it there? Carrying on though. The Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." Now the Lord God had formed out of the ground all the all the wild animals and all the birds in the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would name them. And whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. So the man didn't name the sun or the stars or the sky. We're not gonna go into all that right now. We're just gonna carry on. Okay, so the man called each living creature that whatever the man called each living creature, that was his name. Verse 20, so the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds in the sky, and the wild animals. But for Adam, no suitable helper was found. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and then closed up the place with flesh. Replaced the chunk of rib that he took with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib. He had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. I'm having trouble reading right now. My focus is leaving me slowly. I'm glad I'm only doing one story at a time. Anyway, the man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called Woman, for she was taken out of man. That is why man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh." Adam and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame. I guess we got to point that part out. That's verse 25, by the way. Chapter 2, verse 25, very last verse in the chapter. Adam and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame. Chapter 3. Now the serpent, like we're not going to say whatever. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals. Oh, okay, well, it makes sense as you keep reading. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" So we're trying to be specific here. We're obviously trying to be deceitful. The woman said to the serpent, why is the woman talking to the serpent? Well, I guess it may actually be normal. You know, you're the first human beings out there. You see an animal, it might be normal to talk to animals. I don't know. I would have ran, but that's just me. Anyway, this is verse 2. The woman said to the serpent, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it or you will die." Verse 4. "You will not certainly die," the serpent said to the woman, "for God knows when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened. Your eyes will be opened. And you will be like God, knowing good and evil." So that was verse 4, chapter 3. "You will not certainly die," the serpent said to the woman. Verse 5. "For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." That is something right there. Let's continue though. Verse 6. "When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it." Okay, so the serpent only talked to her while Adam was there. Why are we not calling her Eve? Why are we calling her the woman? Whatever. He was with her and he ate it. Verse 7. "Then the eyes of both of them were open, and they realized they were naked." They realized they were naked. Verse 25. "They were both naked and they felt no shame." But here, verse 7, then the eyes of both of them were open and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. I'm going to try to come back to that because there's so much in my head right now. Let's continue. That was verse 7. Verse 8. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and they hid from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. They hid because they heard the Lord God coming. Why? Verse 9. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" The Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" He answered, "I heard you in the garden." Wait, who answered? The man or God? Keep reading. He answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." Okay, so this is the man. All right. And he said, okay, God said, they should say God, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" The man said, God said, "Who told you were naked? You weren't supposed to know that." Now you're ashamed. You weren't supposed to be ashamed of yourself. You're naked. The man said, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree and I ate it." Then Lord God said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me and I ate." So the Lord God said to the serpent, everybody's in the same spot. What's going on? The Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and you will eat dust all the days of your life." You crawl on your belly and you will eat dust. So what was the serpent like before that? Is what I want to know. Because I thought, they all crawled on their belly. And I don't think they eat dust. But whatever. Let's keep going. You will crawl on your belly and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity. What in the world is that? Enmity. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head. Whoa. Wait a minute. I don't even. Whoa. He will crush your head and you will strike his heel. This gotta mean something else. He will crush your head and you will strike his heel. All right, whatever. Moving on. Verse 16. To the woman he said, "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe." Whoa, this guy is seriously upset. "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." 17. To Adam he said, "Because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it, and all the days of your life." 18. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you will return. So I guess this is saying, if it wasn't for these two, we were supposed to live forever. I guess. Anyway, 20. Adam named his wife Eve. Oh, he never named his wife Eve. Now he named his wife. So now we can call her Eve. My bad. I was jumping the gun. I know the story of Adam and Eve, kinda. So I assume whatever. 20. Yeah. Adam named his wife Eve because she would become the mother of all living. The Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. And the Lord God said, the man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. So, all right, let's back up. The Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. So, man never made clothes. God did. That's something. That's something right there. God was the one to make the clothes. You're right. Anyway, yeah, the man has now become like one of us. Again, whoever he's talking to, us. Knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So, you remember there were two trees out there. You can eat from the tree of life, but you could not take from the tree of knowledge, tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Huh. Okay, so let me read that again. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So the tree of life was what we were supposed to eat to continue to live. Did he chop that tree down, or too many questions? Okay. 23. So the Lord God banished him from the Garden of Eden. Oh, so that's why. To work the ground from which he had been taken. After he drove the man out, he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim? 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 Whatever. Let's say that all over again. Verse 24. After he drove the man out, he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. So there's supposed to be a flaming sword wherever the Garden of Eden is to guard it, because nobody else should be going back over there. I don't know what it would do if anybody on earth ever finds this flaming sword, but I'm pretty sure these people are in trouble. Moving right along. Chapter 4. Cain and Abel. Adam made love to his wife finally. Yes. And she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. Cain is the older son, the oldest, the first son. She said, with the help of the Lord God, I have brought forth a man. Later she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now Abel kept flocks and Cain worked the soil. So I guess Abel was like a shepherd or whatever, and Cain was a farmer. Abel kept flocks, Cain worked the soil. If I'm wrong, let me know. I don't know. So, verse 3, in the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord. Now, because I know a little bit about Adam and Eve, I remember this and I really don't like it, but I'm going to keep reading. And Abel also brought an offering. Fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. Fat portions from some of the firstborn. I thought it was like a helpless sheep or something, but I mean, I don't know. That's probably what it means. I just don't know what that means that I'm reading. Fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering, he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry and his face was downcast. So I guess Cain was like, man, what? Shoot. I don't understand why though, but let's keep reading. Let's pause. I don't understand why, because Cain brought what he does. He's a farmer. He brought his product of his work. He brought his product of his work. Abel brought his product of his work. And I'm not happy with that. I am not. It doesn't make sense. But I'm gonna keep going. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, you will not be accepted. If you do what is right, will you not be accepted?" See, I told you I'm retarded. My focus is leaving me. I don't read much. All right. Anyway, yeah. Said, if you do what is right, will you not be accepted? That's his question to Cain. But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it. So basically he's saying, fight your urges, your temptation to do what is wrong. Always do what is right. Now Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Cain stole on. He was hating. And I understand why he was hating. He brought God the product of his work, and Abel did the same thing, but for some reason God only liked Abel's shit, and Cain was like, "But you shouldn't have stolen on your brother, man." Sad. Anyway, while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother. Killed poor Abel. Anyway, verse 9. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know," he replied. "Am I my brother's keeper?" That's a famous line everybody knows. Am I my brother's keeper? Verse 10. The Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are under a curse. And driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you." So I guess basically this nigga's cursed, and no matter what he does, he won't get any satisfaction out of it, I guess. Yeah, so verse 12. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth. A restless wanderer. This is another thing that gets me. How is it that he's cursed to walk? Let's keep going. Maybe something to explain that. Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." Oh. That's why. Okay. But the Lord said to him, "Not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over." What? So is he alive or is he not? Which one is it? But whoever does, suffering punishment 7 times over. So that means that person is probably walking the earth for the rest of their life. I don't know. Let's keep reading. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to finish this story. Let's go. Then the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who found him will kill him. Okay, so everybody's supposed to know that you can't kill this nigga because of this mark, wherever it is. It's supposed to be visible, though, so the people would know they can't kill this nigga. Carrying on, whatever. 16. So Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod, N-O-D, east of Eden. Cain made love to his wife. I guess there were more people created, of course, after God made Adam and Eve. I'm assuming. Moving right along. Cain made love to his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Enoch or Enoch? E-N-O-C-H. I'm going to say Enoch. Cain was then building a city, and he named it after his son, Enoch. Oh, I remember that. Enoch. So it is Enoch. To Enoch was born. To Enoch was born Irad. Oh, I guess what we're saying is Enoch had kids too. I guess. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad was the father of Mehujael. And Mehujael was the father of Methushael. Ooh, these some words here. And Methushael was the father of Lamech, Lamech, Lamech. Lamech married two women. One, boy, Lamech is out there getting it. Lamech married two women. One named, she got an ugly name, Ada. I know why he got two now. And the other, Zillah. Zillah sounds better, but whatever. Ada gave birth to Jabal. He was the father of those who live in the tents and raise livestock. His brother's name was Jabal. What? Ada gave birth to Jabal. He was the father of those who live in the tents and raise livestock. His brother's name was Jabal. Oh, I get it. Jabal and Jubal. See, my focus. So it's all in my focus. His brother's name was Jubal. He was father of all who play stringed instruments and pipes. Dang, they had stringed instruments and pipes back then. Who? What? Whatever. Zillah was Lamech's other wife. Also had a son, Tubal-Cain, or Tubal-Cain, Tubal Cain, who forged all kinds of tools out of bronze and iron. Tubal-Cain's sister was Naamah, Naamah. Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, "Listen to me, wives of Lamech, hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me." 24. If Cain is avenged 7 times, then Lamech 77 times. Is he saying Cain's dead? Let's read that again. Lamech, that's verse 23. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, "Listen to me, wives of Lamech. Hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me. If Cain is avenged 7 times, then Lamech 77 times. I have no idea what he's trying to say, but maybe we'll get an answer before this chapter's over. Adam made love to his wife. What? Are we going way back to Adam? We're just going to leave it there? Verse 25. Adam made love to his wife again, and she gave birth to a son named Seth, saying, "God has granted me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him." Seth also had a son, and he named him Enosh. What? Okay, so we have a Enoch from Cain's side, right? Cain made love to his wife, Enoch. Seth had a son, Enosh. Whew. At that time, people began to call on the name of the Lord. That is the end of the 4th chapter, and that's where I'm gonna stop. It's a lot of questions that I have, especially that the last that 24th verse. If Cain is avenged 7 times, then Lamech 77 times. I don't know if he's trying to say Cain was killed, or was it just the fact that he felt like if people should be punished for attacking Cain, then whoever attacks me should be punished for twice as much of the reason, or in his case, 77. Excuse me, 77 times. I'm confused at that. But I'm not gonna worry about it. Of course, I already addressed the part that I don't like in the story, and that's Cain and Abel bringing an offering to God. They both brought products of their work, and God only favored one. This reminds me of the whole tithes and offering thing. If we all bring products of our work, how are we supposed to know if God, cares? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. It's so much. But that's the biggest issue for me, is that right there. And of course, God making the clothes for man. So God is the one who made the clothes for man. It wasn't man, it was God. Man somehow along the way learned to make clothes themselves. There are instruments, which I mean, I can understand, man learned how to, make fire. Like, they skipped all of that. I get that. They skipped all of those details. Learn how to make fire, learn how to forge things with the fire, blah, blah, blah. We skipped all of that. The whole serpent talking to the woman thing, that's... Why are we still not talking to animals if that's the case? Like... Then there's the whole nakedness after biting the fruit. Why were they only then realizing that they were naked? But that's not the part either. The part that gets me is they realized they were naked and they became ashamed. Babies walk around unashamed. Kids will walk around unashamed of being naked unless you shame them. Think about it. Nobody's ashamed of something unless somebody else shames them for it. We do not naturally become ashamed of something without being shamed. Like, we literally have to be talked about for doing something in order for us to be ashamed of doing it. Otherwise, it's a natural thing. I don't like that part either. The light. There's a big light and a small light. I forgot how it was worded, but I wish I had a highlighter. I'm gonna get a highlighter for the next time. Where is it? The greater light. Yeah, the greater light, I'm assuming, is the sun. We all can pretty much say, it's safe to say, the greater light is the sun. The lesser light is the moon. But we all know the moon is not made of light. So why would it be written here if that's what it is? So is the moon supposed to be light or not? If we all know what it is now, and this was written, what do people say? It was wrote by man, influenced by God. If it was influenced by God, then why did he not influence the man who wrote it to say something else? But after that, it says, he also made the stars. Now, that's nothing to really question. He also made the stars. I mean, okay, whatever. But before that, before the whole greater light and lesser light, there was him saying, oh wait, I'm on the same page. God said, let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night. and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times. So, oh, let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years. And let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth. So, he said that after he had already said, let there be light in the beginning, right? So he made light that wasn't the sun. Like, I'm not getting it, but what the whole point of this whole project is to think. We need to learn to think. We should not conform to something without thinking. That means we're doing something without understanding. How are we knowing that we're doing it right if we don't understand? Anyway, creation, Adam and Eve, Garden of Eden, Cain and Abel, and the children of both. Well, not Abel because Abel died, but the children of Cain and the other son. What was the other son's name? Oh boy, Seth. Yeah. So we're gonna stop it there. We're gonna pick up at chapter 5, and we're gonna continue from there, and we're gonna keep doing it just like that. We're gonna make it. If you stick with me, we're gonna make it through the whole entire Bible. And hopefully we'll have some understanding in the end, or maybe we will be able to finally say it's bullshit. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know how it go. Until next time, peace.